Salutations and hello, fellow travelers. This is a Flump, and he says hi.
Oh,
Anyway,
so cute.
Meg will be joining us soon.
Yes.
Meg's internet decided to take a poop.
Take a poop.
Yep, just take a nice steamy poop.
She gets in, everything will go crazy for a hot second, then I'll fix it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. And then we got we can talk about some stuff. Some cool stuff is happening, especially with Vrexil Lorray, because we kind of just left our first little town.
First arc is finished.
Yeah, we left the town and we're heading to these ruins, and we got into the ruins and it was pretty cool. But on our way, we kind of fell into some drama with some Oni and some kobolds. But the war machine, Max, or is it just Max? Maximilian got to have some kobold snacks, and he's been waiting for that for a while. I think it's been quite a time before he's
stoked,
yes. Yeah. So he's probably the rest of the trip was probably like a lot speedier because he was like had some giddy up in his wheels. So that's cool. And then I don't know if Patsy is able to do any drawing tomorrow, but
I'll check.
I'll try to remind them as well. But it'll be cool to do that. And then of course there's always dungeons here on Wednesdays. We have some other stuff that might be in the works, but there might be some time while we're all trying to figure out our lives, start businesses, do grad school, things like that. But eventually and not cry on the daily.
Wyatt and I are on the not crying train. It's a struggle.
I'll be fine. I'll
purchase. Oh, come on, you can do it.
It's just a bad person half of the semester, and then I'll be good.
We also do have a YouTube, and we have quite a bit of stuff up on there, and more stuff coming.
Doom.
And Melissa purchased a Doom Tower.
It's fine.
So Doom.
Doom.
Freak out. Everything was terrible for a hot second.
Welcome to the rest of the stream.
I have some surprises for today. It's very exciting. I'm trying to stall for Meg, but it's fine. Last week there was some shopping to be had, and we also had quite a fun time fighting a Merid. I know that everybody groaned, but I had to come up with something a little last minute. No one's fault though. It was fun. They needed to kill that Merid anyway, or else he was going to come back some other time. My other idea was the Bone Claw.
Master.
And Meg is
back. Woo! Okay, give me a minute. I have to fix some things now. Hold on.
So Meg, what happened? What was going on?
Oh, I don't know. Our internet's going in and out. I'm actually a hotspot on my phone. So.
Oh, no. Oh really?
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah. It seems like my phone's working great though. So unless I'm really like choppy, just let me know.
Nah, it seems like it's going fine right now. Make sure that your phone is plugged in, because I can drain it real quick.
Oh, you're right.
Good thinking.
And so to let everyone kind of get settled, we're gonna go ahead and start with Vrexil. Vrexil, there was something that piqued your interest last week that would have definitely piqued your interest in general. It was Ludwig's Library of Arcanic Literature and Magical History.
Oh, yes.
And we kind of thought maybe you would probably head in that direction, potentially.
Yeah, I like to think that when they go through the checkpoint door, that Vrexil immediately just turns to Canari. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me.
You're okay. Just take some time.
It's not your fault. None of this is your fault. You're the only one keeping us all together. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I think Canari just very gingerly just kind of pulls Vrexil into a hug until he stops talking for a little bit.
Oh, that whole conversation is happening. I was just like,
oh no. Vrexil, before you scooted, Quentin did give you a mysterious message. The gnome shall rise again, plus 500 gold pieces from that.
Yeah.
And then there were some more monies that were given to the whole group that you were able to split up as well.
Vrexil just in the hug is just like, oh, thank you, Quentin. What? Okay. And then yeah, at hearing word of a library, will just excuse himself and head out that way because he needs a minute.
Yeah, Canari just nods and just says, and we'll mind link with you and just say, "We're here when you're ready. Just take some time."
You hear Vrexil like inadvertently, like the streams get crossed, and you hear him say like, "All right, you and I are gonna have a chat about sorry, wait,
You kind of hear Canari's laughter in your head as she cuts the mind link.
But yeah, walking towards the library. What is what do we got here?
By the way, I'm ready to have a conversation whenever you are. The queen in your head speaks. When you approach the library, it is just a small little establishment, just almost looks to be the size of a single bedroom home. Very humble and modest. But then when you open the door, it is bigger on the inside.
Oh shit.
And you see an expansive library that stretches out much longer than it is wide, with several rows across. And before you are able to enter, there is a little circular help desk and a singular tall drow man with a very, very cross look on his face looks up at you. He takes the little ribbon of a book and places it gently in the seam of it and gently closes it, careful not to make any sounds. And you will notice that this entire library is silent.
This is a wonderful place. and like as the queen is like, I'm ready to. It's just like.
Remember, you do have that little oil that you can just like.
Oh, that's right.
Quiet.
Yeah.
I think it's oil. Ludwig, the drow that's before you, there is a little name plate on the desk. He pulls out a little display and sets it gently on this marble counter, careful not to make any sounds of clanking, and it says admittance fee 100 gold pieces, and then library card 500 gold pieces. And he just tilts it a little towards you in your direction. And then he just crosses his fingers and sits and waits.
Vrexil just takes the pouch of gold he just got and like hands it over, and then like takes the note back out of it. Like, I might need that.
Before you set it down, Ludwig twirls his finger and it starts floating before it hits the marble counter and floats over into his hands, and he takes it, nods, and then twirls his finger again, and a little card that is about the size of like a business card or something, but it is made of a nice metallic sheen, and as it floats over to you, it seems to have an engraving appear that perfectly replicates your face, your name, and your team, and he delivers it to your hand.
Take it, and then Vrexil will engage the levitation gem slightly more, just to get a little bit more off the ground, to make sure that, you know, none of the dangling pieces of like armor are gonna, you know, scrape or scratch. We'll kind of just like tug on a few buttons and like pull a crank, and just like overall power level dim. So instead of, you know, there's always kind of like this general like woo, 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 you know, it kind of all just dims, and all of the various like glyphs that are normally glowing all just kind of are now just engravings in metal, and basically turns on quiet mode.
Airplane mode.
Yeah.
And you have the library to yourself.
And this Ludwig has not spoken. Vrexil will find, I assume there's like a return cart near Ludwig's shelf.
Yes. He has near his marble-esque desk a cart that is on wheels, and it has several different books kind of layered on top of it that he is needing to return at some point to their proper places.
Vrexil will kind of scan it briefly and try and find the piece of literature that looks perhaps the most worn or damaged.
All right, roll me an investigation check.
Ooh, I'm good at this.
As you're doing this, one of the books actually floats off, and you feel like a little bit of a moving wind, and you recognize this as the unseen servant spell. Grabbing the book and then grabbing another one and then taking it back to its location.
19.
Yeah, you find one that seems to be, the cover isn't quite as worn, but you see along the edges that some of the pages have definitely seen some years. There's some stains. The cover is definitely like loose. It has definitely been opened and closed time and time again. And on the cover, what languages do you speak?
Celestial, Elvish, Gnomish, Sylvan.
This is a language that you do not recognize.
Oh. Okay. Honestly, Vrexil's translated or copied, I should say, quite a lot of books in languages he doesn't know.
Tell you what it is.
Oh, jeez.
Just her voice breaks the silence in your mind. No, Ludwig doesn't seem to notice.
Just kind of like and Vrexil will open to just some page where there's a bit of damage, like you mentioned on the edges, and we'll just find a nearby spot to work, and we'll flawlessly copy the page on just a spare sheet of parchment from his bag, and place it into the book, and then go back to Ludwig and hand it, just kind of show in a sort of asking permission way of like, may I do this favor for you of copying this damaged book.
He just does like a permissive wave.
And Vrexil will go and just take the book and just in this very meditative way, and like the queen will kind of sense his running mind, just sort of start to focus. It's actually good that it's a book that he doesn't know what it says, because it enables him to just sort of focus on the kerning and the and the way the shapes of the letters look, as opposed to what they actually say. And we'll spend the better part of like an hour just copying as many pages of the book as he can.
If you just let me help you out every so often, we would have a much better rapport between the two of us. There are many things that I can do to help you. Like, I could tell you that book is written in Draconic.
I assume that continues for a minute.
She maybe continues just a little bit more, and then she'll sigh and be like, fine. Forest gnomes. Are they always like this?
Once she seems to have kind of given up a little bit, Vrexil will, finish a page, close the book, and then engage mentally and just sort of, all right. You said you can help. What happened back there was unacceptable. And I know that you can do it. I know that you can be a check against me.
I don't know what you mean by that, but, I mean, your mind was quite racked by some strong, twisting, weird power. And I could have diverted it to my own mind and spared yours, but you didn't ask.
don't know about you, where I come from, when you have the ability to do something, you have an obligation to do that thing too. It's your responsibility for that.
Well, I mean, this is quite a different situation than most situations. I am a queen. I do have a duty to my people, but
Right now, I am your only people.
Fair point. Well, maybe we can actually come to an arrangement.
Look, if I start swinging at something that's not there, if I start seeing things that aren't real, if I start ever lifting a finger against any of my friends ever again, you are going to stop me.
I will try my best. I promise you that. But I do believe that we need to come to a much better arrangement. And you know what? We could use your Canari friends to help mediate. Since she seems to be able to chat with the two of us, she can be an intermediary. As I might not be the most agreeable person, but I am able to negotiate out a compromise. It is a queen's duty.
I thought queens were supposed to be good at that sort of diplomacy.
Well, I always had my own advisors by my side to help mitigate my own failings. Mm-hmm. But how about this? I can at least try to spare you from these effects. At least as much as I can. I am limited in this conscious only form. You also can borrow some of my own magics, of course. You know, the magics of the mountain gnomes, able to jump to great heights, control and command the winds with a wave of their finger, and something else that I cannot remember.
Vrexil this entire time has just been like casually using the gust cantrip to turn pages. Yes.
Exactly like that. Yes, of course.
Power of the wind.
Yes. Well, I mean, you might not have the full access to my powers.
All right. Well, you see.
And I can translate some things for you too.
Yeah. You see a fireball coming my way, you let me know. You see something coming from one of my friends, you know, just give me a little help. What do you want?
What do I want? Well, your crew seems to be quite interested in the art of placing disembodied minds and consciousnesses into constructs and
really do.
Some sort of bodies, so maybe you can arrange something like that. Of course, prioritize the dwarf's kin. I forget the relationship, actually. But after that, maybe you could figure something out for dear old me.
Do I get the sense that that the queen is like okay with, you know, prioritize the dwarf? That doesn't bother me.
Roll me an insight check on her.
18.
She said it begrudgingly.
Okay.
It's a fact that she knows that she has to accept.
Okay.
Not that she likes it.
I don't get any like, yeah, just do that, and then I'll like take control of your body.
Oh no,
Okay.
Nothing quite as insidious.
Alright.
And also, out of game, if you wanted to potentially create an autognome to put her in, that would be sick.
Ooh.
I mean, if you give us an autognome, we'll kill it. We'll keep the body, and then we'll put her in there. That's up to you.
I mean, gnomes can make autognomes. It's like built into the autognome thing.
Wait, what is the? I gotta scroll.
You finished the first book, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're having this conversation, and Vrexil is writing with perfect penmanship just as they're having it. I would say like the one or two times that the queen's been like, I don't know, the Braenna, whatever his face, like the pen snaps a little bit, just kind of like, Scrap the page, start over. Okay, I'm reading one of the things. Anyway, but yeah, just we'll eventually work out a somewhat of a truce. Basically, that the queen will try and give Vrexil as much of a heads up whenever she can if there's something going on, and in return, Vrexil will not gesture up all the time, and we'll think about this.
Corporeal form.
Yes. Thinking about that. What else is in the library?
You don't have much time to really explore because outside you hear a crash, an explosion, the sound of water being like expelled at high rates, and some yelling and such. And it's Ludwig immediately stands up, like looking panicked, and he's covering his ears like.
Well, we're in a checkpoint. I'm sure they wouldn't have gotten that wrong twice. Just we'll finish the page at like a nice leisurely, and like close the book, bring it back, and walk outside. What the?
And you walk out immediately as the battle ends, and you see Braenna looting this garment that has fallen into the fountain. She's just waiting around, and everyone has some bruises and such, but they seem to be pretty all right compared to some of the more recent battles that you've had.
Hey guys, I found a thing. What is it?
It looks to be a shirt, maybe a vest.
Well, beyond that, it was from the big guys. It's got to be magical, right?
It doesn't look like it, but there might be some good stuff in that bag.
What happened?
Oh, the Marion came back.
Oh, hi, Vrexil. I got to fight. I got to do the things you do.
Yes.
That's really.
Yeah, that's a really big
invaluable.
exaggeration, but it was similar.
He supported, and we're very proud of him.
And you did a very good job.
Somewhat familiar.
I hope that you report this to Lord Sironia, my heroic endeavors with your team.
I'm sure he'll see it. I
Tell him-
sneer and I go over to
Tell him how
Braenna in the
fantastic
back.
the job I did, maybe?
Thanks, Quentin. Bye. We'll talk to you later.
All right, fine. He snaps his fingers and he's gone.
What a weirdo.
He did help us in the fight.
He sure did help you.
Yeah, but he didn't have to make it weird. That's all I'm saying.
If you put your elbow down, it's like Umbran is like Canari just like lightly
Nudging
slaps.
Canari.
No, don't.
And you see that your allies have maybe a couple new items on their persons.
Walking over to the bag, I'll grab the essence of water shard. I'm like, I don't think we'll need this, so I'm gonna hawk it. It gets a good price. Now that this has happened, I do think I'm gonna head back to Claudulius. There was another thing I wanted to pick up.
I'll go with.
So you grabbed the water essence, and then we had a decanter of endless water.
Yeah, it's a decanter and 600 gold worth of pearls.
Okay. Does somebody want the pearls, or should I just put them in my bag for now?
I think I need them for anything.
Were we just gonna sell them?
Well, we suppose we could sell them too. Yes. Okay. I've added the decanter of endless water.
The barricades and the defenses of the Magic Emporium go back up, and the lights return to full brightness, the almost neon glow of the magical sign of the Magic Emporium is bright and enticing, and so it seems everything's back to status quo.
Before you use all the pearls, Moxie's actually gonna take one and she can just like trade you the money for it or whatever. Like pay into it.
Take one. It's fine.
Okay.
Each pearl is worth 100 gold pieces.
So we got 5 pearls. I'm assuming. Then.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well then Moxie's just gonna keep hers.
Okay. Or we can just each get a pearl for 100 GP, and we can sell or do what we want with it. That's what I'll do. Braenna gives everyone a pearl. It's fun.
You have 1 extra pearl.
Could just sell that one, I guess. Or I guess we could give it to Quentin.
Oh, we can pay him. Pay him for his
You'd be like,
services.
I guess you were here too, so you know.
Part of the team. Ugh.
Ugh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna head into Cladulius's shop and grab one of the Claduliuses.
You walk in, and a puff of smoke, and suddenly there is a fully formed Cladulius in front of you. Hello, and welcome again to the Magic Emporium. It is so wonderful to see you again. Oh, there's Vrexil. Vrexil, it's been such a long time. You know, gnomes have to stick together. I'm glad you're alive.
Me too. This is quite the upgrade.
Oh, yes. The Dungeon Sphere has been good for marketing and investors.
I have so many questions.
And you just see like a bunch of Claduliuses, like one's dusting some shelves. One is flying around on a broom and has a pig with wings, kind of like hogtied and floating underneath. There's another Cladulius in the back who is standing next to this like dug out, almost mining entrance to some underground tunnels. And he's just kind of like standing there, kind of like somebody who, like when you're at an amusement park, is like ready to go and take you on an adventure when you go approach them. There's just Cladulius is doing everything that you might think of in the store. Some of them are missing limbs. Some of them have different colored eyes, and some of the copies have some imperfections.
Yeah.
One has just like this really massive unibrow.
No. What experiment was that?
do you mean? No, these are all my simulacrums.
Looking at the one with the unibrow.
Down the line there is a imperfections that might appear when a simulacrum makes a simulacrum.
You know, you could fix that with just a little wax, yeah? Maybe some tweezers.
Maybe.
I'm not here to tell you what to do with your clones. I am here to sell and to purchase, though.
Oh, again, okay, wonderful. What would you like to sell me?
I have, to go with the shard that we gave you before, I have a shard of water I forgot was in my bag.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'll take one of those. I'll give you 1,000 gold pieces for it.
See, the last one you gave me 2,532 gold pieces. So
Yeah.
I don't really get where the discrepancy is coming from.
Well, one was from the outer realms, and this one's just from the elemental plane of water.
Yes, is that not intriguing?
Yeah, you can find water anywhere.
Now that's not true, and you know it. Someone in the desert would die for this artifact.
Yeah, but someone in the desert won't have the money to purchase it.
You don't know, some desert people are very wealthy.
Not the ones that are starved of water. Sorry, parched.
Yes, but imagine what you could do if you were a wealthy person in the desert with this.
All right, I'll increase it to 2,352.
I'll take it. 2,300. Wonderful. Cool.
Because you're a
And
really
then,
good customer, really good repeat customer.
thank you. I was walking by and I saw a very intriguing hourglass that would have been very helpful several seconds ago. Maybe a minute or two. Would like to purchase.
Oh, you would like the hourglass of repose?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Please. He creates a portal with his hands, and he says, "Step through the portal."
I do.
And as you step through the portal, does Vrexil follow?
Yeah.
You step through the portal, and you appear in a demiplane. And this demiplane is a giant hourglass, and sitting on a pedestal in the middle of this hourglass with like little sand trickling down on top of it is a smaller hourglass that is gilded in gold and has just the most magnificent glass curvature, and it's with several different arcane sigils around it. And he says, this hourglass was blessed by the god of time herself. And I am offering it at a very reasonable rate, I believe.
It is. I do have to agree with that.
So if you would like it, that is 9,990 gold pieces.
I do it.
Wonderful! Here you go.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I also do have one more thing to purchase, unless Vrexil, you would like to do a thing first.
What else is in this space?
It was just the hourglass.
Just the hourglass? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a legendary item, so it's in its own
Sure.
special kind of thing.
Yeah, Vrexil will go back in the shop and look around.
You go through the portal, but that Claudius doesn't follow you, and you hear him be like, wait! As he's buried in sand.
Yeah, we do that. The two of us leave together and we leave Claudius behind.
Oh no.
And then another Claudius appears in a puff of smoke in front of you.
God.
Hello! It's me, Claudius.
It's the prestige, guys. Which one's the real one? Yeah, Vrexil's just gonna ask about selling some of the spell scrolls. Specifically, Canari, you can do detect evil and good, right?
My eyeball can do detect evil and good.
That's right. I was gonna say we've got multiple sources of that. So
Yeah.
Your eyeball is not
I don't-
attuned.
I don't have my eyeball right now, but I'm gonna put it back in. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I can also do it. It's one that I have.
Moxie can also do.
I have access to it, but I don't prepare it usually.
yeah. We'll sell detect evil and good, meld into stone.
What level is melt into stone?
Oh
Third.
gosh.
Third,
Meld
okay.
into stone is third.
It's also a cleric spell.
Oh.
For some reason.
Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound, which is
I think fourth?
it's fourth or fifth, I think.
It's fourth.
Fourth. And do we want a contact other plane scroll? Or do we have
Do we want to antagonize that maid more? We could call him in the elemental plane of water and be like, bitch!
Alright, so far you are offering me a faithful hound, a meld into stone, and a detect evil and good.
contact other plane, you can ask a demigod, the spirit of a long dead sage, or some other mysterious entity up to 5 questions. And they have to be yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, like one word response type questions.
You have
there's-
commune.
I was gonna say we have commune.
Could we potentially call Canari's ancient evil inside of her and be all like, hey bitch, what's up? Got some questions.
I would say this
Because-
it contacts different folks. Do we want that?
Might be fun to fuck around and keep.
Okay, we'll keep that.
Yes, so no contact.
And then the last one. I'm probably gonna regret this, but we'll get investiture of ice as well in this. We'll sell that. It's a 6th level.
You want the big bucks.
We're gonna immediately hit like the ice level now, aren't we?
Oh, we already fought the ice giant, so I mean, I don't need it.
That's fair.
Would have been helpful when I got trampled by all those ice moose, but you know.
All right, so you're ready for the big bucks.
Oh no, yeah.
All right, so the detect evil and good. I can give you 8 gold pieces. Do you accept? It is only a common scroll.
I'm just gonna look around the shop. There's nothing in this shop that costs like 10, under 50 gold pieces even, really.
And then the melt into stone was the next one.
Yeah.
That I can give you 32 gold pieces for.
Okay.
And then Faithful Hound was the next one, right? I can give you 2,025 gold pieces for that. And then, what was the one after that?
Let's see, we've got
Investiture of Ice.
Investiture of Ice.
Detect Evil and Good. Meld into Stone. Faithful Hound. There was something else.
Investiture of Ice. We didn't get rid of Contact Other Plane.
No, there was something else.
No, that's it.
Was it? All right. Contact Other Plane. I can give you about. Oh, not Contact Other Plane. Investiture of Ice. I could probably give you about 9,000 gold pieces for it. 9,061.
All right. And what about this? We'll hold up the brooch of shielding. It's a
Brooch?
common, or no, uncommon magical item.
Yeah. I could offer you 50 gold pieces.
What was that?
50 gold.
Umbran, I don't do this. Does this seem fair? You know
But
more
relatively?
about this much money than me.
I am always fair.
Vrexil's never seen
mean-
this much money in his life, so he's just looking at Umbran like, you're rich.
I'd say this is a fair price. Brooch of Shieldings are,
Dime
I-
a dozen.
yeah, pretty much.
Alright, yeah, we'll go with all of that. So for a grand total of 11,176 gold.
And you kept the commune scroll, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And the contact of the plane.
Wait, there wasn't a commune scroll. Hold on.
No, Canari knows Commune.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
That's what we were comparing.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Contact Other Plane. with.
Wonderful! This has been a wonderful transaction. Now, would you like to spend any of the money that I just gave you?
Hey,
Because that would be
Vrexil.
wonderful as well.
Hey, Vrexil, ask how much your potato goes for. Just for funsies.
Vrexil will dig out one of his still remaining ration sets, which I assume has a regular potato in it.
Oh, he's no fun.
The potato of potential has a gold sheen to it.
Oh.
And so when you pull out the regular potato, it is not convincing.
Yeah, but Vrexil just heard the words, ask him how much a potato goes for.
How much of your potato goes for?
I could give you 2 copper for that potato.
That's a pretty expensive potato, honestly.
That's it.
You get a whole sack of potatoes for 2 copper.
How much is the it's 20,000.
The potato of potential, I believe I sold that to this really handsome fellow yesterday, or earlier today. About 22,253, something like that.
I got 20,251 for it.
All right, I was close. It is a magnificent item that has the potential to extend your health and life and vitality.
And fix wounds.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Cladulius, do you gift wrap? Forgot to ask this earlier.
Yes, I do, but
I
there's a
hold
little
out
bit of
my
an
hand.
upcharge.
There's something in it, but I handed over to Cladulius. I was like, will you gift wrap this for me?
Oh, I'm not the gift wrapper, Cladulius.
Well,
Okay, I'll
can
get him
you
for
go-
you.
Fine, yeah.
He whistles,
And
and
this item very
suddenly
secretly put your wrapper.
a perfectly wrapped present about the size of a bread box flies up over the railing and lands near your feet because you're on the second floor. Because I forgot to mention that. You are now on the second floor. And it lands at your feet, and then the Cladulius that's in front of you says, "Open it."
I do.
As you open it, there is a Cladulius inside.
Oh, God.
And then he pops
I'm
up.
so surprised.
Hey guys, I'm the gift wrapping Cladulius.
Will you gift wrap this for me?
Yes, I will.
Very secretly, we do that.
They wouldn't let me negotiate any prices. So, they made me gift wrap. And so
I love to gift wrap, so I mean, I don't even know why you're complaining.
takes it, and then he sticks it in his hat, and then he pulls it out of his hat, and suddenly it's gift wrapped in a nice little perfect cube.
Wonderful, thank you.
The wrapping paper is green, and the ribbon is gold.
So Vrexil, also of the items I sold, I did get rid of the Medallion of Astral Horrors. It was not fair what it had done to our party and our team, and to you especially. Jerome told me what had happened after I had blacked out. Not in very helpful words, but he did tell me.
I did.
So I wanted to thank you for saving me and also apologize for the madness.
In the
I've gotten
background, the gift wrapping Cladulius is wrapping himself back up into a gift.
I've gotten you
But it's, like,
this
blurred
gift
out.
to say thank you, and I hand Vrexil the gift wrap box.
Oh. We'll kind of take it and then just be like, I don't know what you were told. I didn't really save anyone. I kind of just made everything worse.
No, if it wasn't for you, I would have A, fallen on the rock. A, I would have fallen very hard, and B, fallen down the mountain and shattered. So your feather fall and your wall of force saved my life. Twice. 2 times. You deserve this.
Tell him he saved my life too.
Also, you saved Jerome's life. He's very grateful. It's a gift from, regardless of what he says, it is not a gift from both of us. It is a gift from me and the team.
He would be one of my generals in the army.
Okay, yeah, shut up. You're ruining the moment.
Thank you. I promise next time I won't make a mess of things.
You didn't make a mess of anything. You saved
I made a horrible, awful mess of Canari's feelings.
Canari's fine, okay?
Actually, if you think
She'll
about
be
it, it
fine.
was Umbran's fault. Entirely. The
Listen,
queen says.
Canari's got more composure than the rest of us. She'll, sometimes you get attacked by your friends and it just rolls off your shoulders. No matter how bad you feel about things, I'm sure she won't even remember it.
That's true.
You always remember your worst mistakes more than others do.
Still.
And I think a little madness is healthy. Gives you
Oh.
someone else's point of view for a bit. You get to see things in a different light. I did not get to see things. I went unconscious.
You turned off.
I turned off. It hit my restart switch. I had to boot back up.
Blah.
I love all of these emotions and feelings, but this is a place of business, so
This is a free show, Cladulius. Quiet.
something to get out.
I've bought many things. I'm entitled to be in this store for a while longer. For 9,000 gold. I could live here for a week if I chose.
Would you like to see the implements again?
I would, but please, we're in the middle of something.
Oh,
Oh my god. There's
all
not
right, fine.
like spare wheels in this scene right now.
The gift wrap Cladulius has completely wrapped himself, and then the present kind of like shrinks and then folds into itself until it gone.
You don't have to open it now if you don't want to.
Vrexil will make a mental note to try and surreptitiously cast Identify on gift wrap Cladulius at some point to figure out
How did he
how
do
the
that?
simulacrum spell made that happen. And then we'll just start unwrapping the present.
The Cladulius who is there, like, kind of servicing you, or right now, he's like your Quiet, you. The one that's like attending to you, is just tapping his foot, arms crossed. It's like, harumph, he says out loud.
You open the box, and it is a ring of regeneration.
Oh.
Umbran has presented you a ring to grow your arm back if you do so choose.
Oh.
So does this mean you're married now?
Is that what rings mean?
Know that!
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're hill gnomes, we give people rocks!
Oh, that can regrow body parts.
I know what it can do.
Which was the point of the ring, so I didn't get you a ring of water walk or whatever. It's a ring that had to matter to you.
I do. I actually have one of those. Thank you. I honestly don't know what to say.
It's gonna be like Deadpool, where it starts off like a baby hand.
Oh.
It's gonna be gnarly growing it back, but
Trying to like pull the lever, like.
just put your jacket like over it for like a
Yeah.
week. It'll be fine.
I'll use this. I know I'm gonna use this. I don't know quite when. Just gonna like take off the fake arm. Clearly, how much do you want this for?
He grabs the arm. I'll give you 5 gold.
Oh.
5 gold for an automated arm made by the greatest gnome that lives of our time? Are you kidding?
Cornelius looks down at himself.
Oh.
I didn't make this.
I mean what I said, Cornelius, the greatest gnome of our time.
Oh no.
Unbelievable.
Wait.
All right.
I want to buy more things from him. Shh.
Roll me
Yes,
persuasion.
take us to the implements,
All right. Well, in that case, how
and
about
then I will leave.
I will.
8 gold.
I'll keep it as a memento. Thank
Okay.
You never know when you're gonna need another arm on
you.
here.
Yeah, it's
so.
true.
That is true.
And a
yeah.
flying carpet arrives with another Cladulius.
Oh no.
Hey there, I'm here to take you to the implements. I'll.
She sounds so shady.
Yes, I just need to grab an implement and then I'll leave, and then Vrexil, you can get whatever else you need. I'll give you time alone in the shop.
As we're. Oh.
Did just get a new item. It's called a wand of bubbles.
So Umbran, you're getting an implement.
Yes, I have to go grab an implement.
You go for it.
And you hop on the carpet, and it takes you to the implement aisle. And you see the same array as last time, except condensed, as there are a handful missing.
All right, which implement do you want today?
I need an implement that will give a friend of mine out of combat some helpful abilities, or maybe in combat. I'm interested in the implement.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you. It takes me a second. I've got shadow tears in my eyes that are touching moments. An implement of benevolence. I'm interested in.
Oh. Well, it's exactly the same price as the other implements.
Of
And
course.
this one is fairly helpful. It will allow you to cast the spells Good Berry, Plant Growth, and Mass Cure Wounds. It can also turn into a +2 Great Club or Javelin, both +2. And
Also-
while you're wielding it, any friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have any damage or harm that comes to them reduced.
Wonderful,
mitigated.
yes. I will take that. Also, would you happen to know anywhere that would sell wheat or barley seeds?
Oh, well, if you go to Nebazar's Mundane Menagerie, I'm sure that Nebazar over there will have some amongst his boring stock.
Thank you. It means so much to me. I will take that, and then I do not care for the walking carpet. I parkour my way down to the first floor. And I wave at Vrexil as I leave.
Benevolence is gone.
Umbran, are you fully attuned to everything?
Oh, well, I am unattuned to my eyeball. I have to put my docent back in.
Vrexil, do you want an implement too?
He hails from above or afar. You're not sure.
Curiosity does know legend lore. Ooh.
I saw that. I just don't know if I want to.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Wiles, rope trick, fabricate, guards and wands.
On the way towards the implements, there was
Yes.
something that looked oddly like a jetpack over there.
Yes. You'll pass by Claudulius, who looks like he's like he's wearing a one of those masks that you use when welding mask, and some grease stains and overalls and such, and he's got like this giant wrench, and he's just chewing some bubble gum, and there's a bunch of different like mechanisms and such around him.
So, this, Vrexil points down at his floating disc. I mean, it's basically just a repulsive levitation mechanism. You know, I lean this way, and then the levitation pushes me. But this, and he points at this thing that's like shooting flames off the wall, looks slightly more interesting. How does this work?
Well,
This is the propulsion pack.
have you ever wore a backpack before?
I am presently wearing a backpack.
Well, it's like
I'm
that.
unfamiliar with the technology.
Well, it's like that. And it has some fuel that allows you to have 1 hour of cumulative flight per day. And it regains all fuel at dawn because it's magical fuel. And it gives you a flying hover speed of 60 feet. And it does not require any attunement. It just happens.
So fast.
But it does control your descent as you fall as well. It has some built-in safety mechanisms.
Oh, I've got that covered. That's fine.
All right. And girls love it.
Oh. Vrexil, like, is already kind of like looking at it and tinkering, and maybe like accidentally pulls out a part or two to see if it would fit like in his armor. Just like, oh wait, I should.
He's just chewing his bubble gum and looking off to the side.
Just will kind of like affix each of the little propulsion things to like around the circumference of the disc, and just sort of like, it will work. How much? And then looks back at the backpack, which is now like in pieces.
Well, I don't know what you did to it, but that is 3,142 gold.
Excellent. Got that. Because now I can unattune to my boots.
You want another glove?
Well, at present, I still only have the one.
Oh.
So maybe we'll get there. Yeah, now I can. I'll keep the boots for now, but I can unattune to them. Okay, that was, how much was that? 3,000.
3,142.
Cool. And then there's a very nice looking. Well, actually, you said pocket dimensions for really rare things.
Yeah, but there is a catalog. He hands you a catalog.
Okay. This item here that talks about a cloak that can bring you to a safe place when you get attacked.
Oh yes, the Cloak of Salvation. I made that special after finding some very, very unique threads in another plane.
Well, I would be very interested to get that.
Wonderful. Let me get the cloak, Claudulius.
Oh, jeez.
Cloak Julius, if you will.
Oh,
And suddenly you, from the shadows, you see a Claudulius who appears and throws a cloak what do you call like the wing of a cloak, whatever, aside, and he says,
I am the Cloak Cladulius. You can call me Cloakdulius. Please, step into the shadows.
and there's some shadows.
Umbran's already suing him for stealing a signature cloak throw.
Vrexil will jetpack into the shadows.
You hop into the shadows, and the shadows seem to like feel almost like this molasses barrier, but then as you pass through, there's this chamber made of stone and runes swirling around. It's a round chamber with a single light shining down on a mannequin wearing a cloak.
This cloak will save your life. And that's why the price is 7,489 gold pieces.
Is the mannequin attuned to it?
No, it's a mannequin. You do have to fight the mannequin to death to wear it, though.
Vrexil will cast Thunderwave at the mannequin.
And that was a joke! The mannequin just falls apart, and just like the cloak just flutters to the ground, and actually the cloak doesn't flutter to the ground. The cloak disappears and then reappears outside of the Thunderwave.
Okay.
But the mannequin just collapses.
Okay.
That was a really good mannequin, too. I found it at a thrift store. One of a kind.
A mannequin
thrift
at a
store?
thrift store sounds like a special kind of terrifying. Yeah, we'll go for that. We'll get that too.
All right. 7,589. Mark. I'll take that. Thank you. Now please hop in this hole.
There's a hole that just like appears at your feet.
Is that the way out?
Maybe.
Insight check. Oh no, it's 6.
I think so. You hop into the hole and you reappear at the top of the shop. Oh, by the way, the shop is open air, so it's like this open area with railings that encircle it, and you appear out of the ceiling, falling downward.
Well, that's
you
good
use
because beneath Vrexil now are like, I assume, jetpack flames, just like.
Yeah. You're descending all the way down, safely
hopefully,
landing.
Hopefully, nothing is catching on fire.
Not that kind of fire.
All right. And yeah, that's all Vrexil needs. That's it.
Okay, goodbye. Get out of my store. Bye now. Bye.
Would you like? So as you leave, while this was all happening, Canari, Moxie, and Braenna, what were you doing? Braenna needs to go start forging.
Yeah, I was probably gonna go back to her dad's shop.
Canari, it has been a bit of time. Your order might be ready.
Yeah, I think she would go, she'd go get her stuff. Just like, the upgraded armor and then the Amulet of the Devout that she got from Cladulius. I think she'd pick both of those up and then hop in a room to just call home.
Yeah, so you definitely get the Amulet of the Devout. As you walk in, a delivery Cladulius arrives on a broom and hands it off to you and then flies away. And then you walk with Braenna to go get your armor. Braenna, your dad is hard at work, still working on your order, but got Canari's done first. And so he hands it off to Canari, says, I hope this does you well, Canari. And then he puts his big ol' hand with all of its calluses on your shoulder and grips it a little tight and like, keep my little bee safe.
I will.
Dad, you're embarrassing me.
Good. That's
yeah,
a father's duty.
Yeah, I think Canari smiles and just says, I will leave the two of you too.
All right,
How's my
Braenna.
javelin coming?
It's almost done.
Okay, cool.
It's actually, I just gotta let it do a couple more strikes. Throw a little bit more horse piss on it. And then
Yeah, and then dip it in the water, and it should be good. It should be good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Seems alright. Seems alright.
And then he does all that. It doesn't take that much longer. And then, as it's sizzling in the water, he says, "Now,
Yes.
are you ready to make a hammer?"
I am so ready, you don't even know.
All right.
Waiting for this so long.
It's gonna take several hours of crafting. You're gonna be cloistered up with your father in this sweatshop, and it's gonna be the most wonderful experience of your life.
Pretty much, yo.
First, make sure that you get a little bit of your blood untainted and wash your hands.
Braenna,
And then it needs
Braenna washes
some of
her
your
hands.
hair as well.
Braenna washes her hands, and then, God, does she have actually sharp? She's got the glaive, but that's really huge. Hold on.
It's a weapon shop.
Well,
there's
I know,
daggers
but
everywhere.
I was just saying if she has anything.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't actually have
She wants
anything
to-
sharp. That's hilarious. Besides the glaive, and I'm not gonna cut. She's not gonna cut herself with the glaive. Dad, I just need a little dagger or something. I don't have one of those. Apparently.
Take whatever one you want.
Braenna takes her time and finds like the perfect one, and just like a little cross her hand.
Oh,
And
you
then
could have just done a fingerprint. Finger prick. You didn't need to do it across the hand. That's gonna be. Let's wrap that up. Okay.
It's all good.
He like goes and wraps her hand up.
And then she
Um,
like uses the hand to like pull out a couple
Mhm.
pieces of hair.
And he has already had some metal in the furnace to its melting point. And he says that this metal is a special kind of metal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I forgot its name, but it's special. I had a name, actually. I had a name, but I was
I
like...
forgot the name. It's fine.
Yeah, I did forget the name. It's called Arcanimium. Arcanimium. Because I'm cool and original. Arcanimium. Actually, I do have this concept of Arcanimus, because animus is the concept that items and objects have souls within them, just like living beings. And like Arcanimus is kind of like the idea of like, oh, it is a magical soul, and that's what sentient weapons and stuff come from, and blah blah blah. And anyway,
Braenna goes
Arcanimium.
over, takes the hair that's now like got a little bit of her blood on it, and drops it in.
Yep, drop it in, and it sizzles as it hits. And now the blood.
Well, the blood, the hair. So she used the hand with that she.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Makes
all
sense. Makes
together.
sense.
Yeah.
And then it's just, and now say for the Ironbeard clan.
For the Ironbeard clan.
And you see the sizzle, but the sizzle turns into like this, like almost golden smoke that comes off in wisps, and then he pours it into a warhammer shaped mold. Actually, it's like one of those you can't actually tell the shape because it's one of those like really round ones, and he has to pour it in and blah blah blah. And now we gotta let that cool off. But while it's cooling off, you have to think deeply about what you want from this. And you need to picture it in your minds. You need to picture what it's like, how it speaks to you. And while that's happening, we're gonna go over to Moxie and Canari.
I think Moxie probably would have just gone to the like call rooms.
Mhm.
I of course couldn't find my notes on whatever I talked to Hawking about last, but she'd probably just check in with him.
All right. You walk into
Ah,
one of the
wait a
call
second.
rooms in the tavern. And the tavern is a little bit different since it is now ran by a hill giant named Gordy. And so it's much larger space, and the stairs are a little bit larger too, and everything seems to be hill giant sized.
Oh.
And you just see this,
probably turn around and think she walked into the wrong spot and then come back in.
and then you see this hill giant who is behind the counter, kind of just like cleaning some dishes and such, and he says, "Oh, hello. My name is Gordy. It is good to see you. Welcome to One Giant Hangover.
Hey.
Do you want caribou?
What?
Do you want caribou?
Oh, yeah.
I make caribou for you." And then
Okay.
he goes into the back, and you hear like the some sizzling and stuff happening.
I'm gonna make a call. I'll be back.
Okay, caribou ready in 20.
Okay.
You haven't talked to Hawking since day 28.
What day
You
are we
haven't
on
talked to
currently?
Hawking until you had figured out you were in Asmar.
Wow. Okay, that's been a while.
You asked him to look into the cult and its connection with Canari, specifically what it meant as your role as a protector.
Thank you. I was like, I thought I wrote it down, but where it is, I don't know. I wasn't color coding things yet.
You asked him to look into what fate had brought everyone into the dungeon sphere together, if that was something.
Okay. Cool.
And Hawking is proud of you. And he sent you turnips.
Oh yeah.
And then next time we saw Hawking was in a dream where he was taking care of you. But that's...
Oh yeah. I was like, I felt like I had something about him more, but okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
That's what the notes are here for.
Yeah,
All 120 pages of them.
Holy shit. Man, that's like a novel.
It's a lot
101.
easier for me to find stuff now that, like, the way that I'm doing my notes now, but it's way too far back.
Luckily, these back rooms where you can make the calls are normal sized.
Oh, good. Moxie was really worried about trying to, like, call someone on with a giant phone.
And you walk into the room, and you press the screen, and it goes, and it shimmers, and you see a very distressed looking Hawking, who actually is currently nailing what looks like bed sheets over the windows.
Hawking?
And he tosses the hammer, and it just like clatters and hits something, and something knocks over and it breaks, and it's just an entire like cacophony of chaos for a moment, and then it settles down, and he turns and he looks and he says, hello, Moxie.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I don't want you to distress over it,
Okay,
but I'll tell you
what's
anyway.
Yeah.
He walks up to the screen and he says, ever since you got past that battle royale level, the media and the paparazzi have not left me alone.
Oh.
They keep asking questions about you and your mysterious past, and I will refuse to tell them anything, but their persistence is almost of a level of discipline that I've never seen before. And I am the most disciplined person.
Yeah, totally.
And somehow, they have exceeded that. Oh. But how are you?
I'm pretty, here.
Dig deeper. Come on.
I don't have a shovel.
Oh my goodness. Just.
Look, there's a lot going on since we
There
last
is.
spoke.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right. Well, your parents are dead. By the way.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Well, let me make a mental note.
Yeah, they're gone.
Parents.
They actually,
dead. Like last year or?
a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. A couple of years.
Yep. Took their own lives. Left a note. A single note. says they regret everything. So sorry to drop that on you, but you can't remember them, so may as well just rip that Band-Aid off.
Yeah. They didn't elaborate any further on what they regretted, just everything.
The note didn't specify.
They couldn't even be helpful in death.
I know.
Rude. Okay, well, that's cool.
But I did find out something.
Oh.
Good news.
Uh-huh.
This light within you that is burning away and might burn you to ashes. It's reversible.
Oh. How?
That's the tricky part. Don't know how. But I have spent what time I could going into the archives, the libraries, researching what I could, and discovered that this process that imbued you with this power that we don't quite understand, it can be removed. So far, all I know is that it can be removed by an act of God.
Okay, well, I can ask Canari. She knows a god, I think.
It will also spare your life.
Oh, okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah. Which I very much would like you to attempt to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying, you know. They said don't use up the stuff, so, you know, I don't go supernova all the time.
Right. You want some good news? More good news.
Oh, okay.
That church of Grimshishka.
Uh-huh.
Well, their members have gone into hiding. The exposure of via the dungeon sphere has caused the magisterium government to pursue them for tax fraud.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that they'll have to be much of a concern for you anymore.
Yeah, speaking of concerns, hang on. I have to find the name because I don't remember, and Moxie's like throwing random bits of paper around. And, like, rags that she maybe wrote on at one
napkins
point.
and stuff.
Bar napkins, yeah.
Yeah, every time they come to this place, she writes down, like, 3 notes and is like, I'll remember this, and then doesn't. Oh, does the name Sul Katesh mean anything to you?
No, not at all. I knew a Pool Badesh, but I haven't spoken to him in quite some time. I may owe him money.
I don't think that that's who Sneeves was talking about, but thanks.
You're welcome.
If you get the chance, maybe, I don't know, ask someone about that?
I can. I'll see if I can find information on the names. Ooh, Kateshwi.
Do you want me to talk to someone about you being hounded by, like, news people?
I might just go to the secret retreat that only elite members of the Order of the Owls know about.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I'll take this scrying with me. They couldn't possibly find me there.
I'll talk to someone just in case.
All right. Cheerio. Chop, chop.
I didn't know you become British now, but all right.
He doesn't say that. Yes. What else did I look into for you? Is that it?
What it meant to be a protector.
Oh yeah.
A disembodied voice. What it meant to be
Umbran's reading from his backlog of like his own personal recording of everything that's ever happened.
what it meant to be a protector of the light is meant to preserve the life of the one who bears it, and also to protect people from getting burned by the light. You yourself already have the light burning inside you, so you are immune to that. So you are immune to that danger, that threat. And to be honest, it doesn't matter. You are Moxie. You will protect who you want to protect, and you will do what you need to do for your friends.
Yeah, probably. That sounds like me.
I hope this was a satisfying call. I am actually fairly exhausted from, I might have punched a few of the people outside.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, what do they expect, right? Like, idiots.
Idiots. All of
but
them.
All of them. I'll talk to someone, maybe.
All right. And Moxie,
Yes, that. Uh-huh.
when you get out of the dungeon sphere,
Yeah.
I need you to take over for me.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm getting quite old,
No.
and it is time for me to retire.
No.
And so I believe that you will be ready for the responsibility. So
I don't think that's true.
don't die,
Leading
so that
people?
when you come back, you can take over and run everything in my stead.
I don't think that's correct.
It's a
Hawking.
wonderful idea. The board has already approved it. All of the owls have hooed in
Don't
in
make
agreement.
stupid, Hawking. So you're saying that if you weren't as old, you'd be okay staying and
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But I threw out my back yesterday just trying to do 100 handstand push-ups, and I'm like, that's.
yeah, don't worry. I don't need to know about my family anymore. I got a new wish. See ya, Hawking. Bye. And then she just
All right.
All right, new wish. I'm
Meanwhile-
never going to be doing that.
Meanwhile, back with Braenna,
Mm-hmm.
you hear the sizzling and the.
Is that the sound
I
I'm
need
supposed to be
some-
making?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, that was Hawking's voice. Yeah. So Braenna,
Yes.
I need you
Hmm.
to grab 4 d6s.
That's entirely too many d6s stuff. Hold on one second.
But how many dice do you roll normally when you hit on an attack, Melissa?
Normally only the d10 and
The 2 d20s and the.
the 2d the 2d20s and d10. I don't d6s are not normally one that I actually have out. TBH. Ugh, there we go. 4 d6s.
Yep.
Total or each number?
Roll 4, drop the lowest number, and give me the total.
11.
11. All right, do it again.
Ooh. 7.
I gotta do it again.
Glad this is not my stats. 12.
Okay, do it again.
There we go. 16.
All right. 11, 12, and 16. Which one do you want for intelligence? Which one do you want for wisdom? And which one do you want for charisma? For your sentient weapon.
11,
11, 12, 16.
the hottest hammer possible.
I was gonna say, I think I want charisma to be 16.
All right. Okay,
Hammer
wisdom,
so smoochable.
wisdom, and intelligence.
This is just that
12 wisdom,
boyfriend
11,
dungeon
or 12,
game.
12 intelligence, 11 wisdom.
My hammer is a himbo.
This has been
Low in high charisma. Just drink and respect women, juice.
All right. All right, Braenna.
All right.
Keep focusing on it.
Yeah,
Imagine all
doing it.
of your family. And when you feel ready, I need you to call the ancestors.
Okay.
And they will chant with you to empower your weapon.
Okay, so Braenna is, I think, probably sitting on the floor, like, cross-legged. And you just see her start, like, punching the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And she rages as she's punching the floor in her...
And your dad joins in by stomping his foot.
Mm-hmm.
And as each of your ancestors appear, they're either like hitting their hand or stomping on the ground, and there's a hey, ah! And then they start chanting and yelling, and anyone that's outside of the workshop right now is like, what the fuck is going on in there?
He's like, Canari had like made dinner for the two of them, so she's walking in with the basket, sees this happening, and just slowly backs up, and just is like, I'll just come back later.
All right. Now, meanwhile, who wants to do a family thing next? All right. Canari, you have this plate of this, I don't know, casserole?
Yeah, I think like she had like a picnic basket, and like she walks out, and then like you just see an arm stick through the door as she leaves it on the counter.
Yeah, there's just like a table right next to the door that you just like, I'm just,
Yeah. But yeah, she'll go back and head into one giant hangover and head back and call her parents.
Moxie, the caribou costs 2 gold pieces,
Okay.
and it is a full caribou, like an entire caribou.
Okay. She's just gonna sit down and
Yeah, its head is off, and it's like the skinny part of its legs are off, so it kind of just looks like one of those, like it just like a headless piece of meat, just this giant thing of caribou. And Canari walks in and sees you just kind of like using your hands, probably, you know,
yeah,
tearing into it.
probably asking about the meat or something to go down with it, like just to get her a drink of whatever goes great with it.
What
Yeah.
do you pair with caribou?
Oh, you
Yeah.
would really like the mountain meat to go with it, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get some of that going.
And so that'll be 8 silver pieces per glass. And it's a big giant size glass. Oh yeah, caribou! Your friend wants caribou too?
We can share.
Yeah.
Are you sure? That's only half a serving for a giant. I don't know how the portions for these small folk.
Yeah, no, honestly, this is great, but it's probably gonna be for like several of us.
Oh, yeah. And then he goes back into the kitchen, and you hear some more sizzling.
I don't even know where to begin. Just like,
Oh,
like,
I started right here in the flank area.
oh,
It's pretty good.
Canari will just take a fork and like a knife, cut off a hunk, and just carry it on the fork as she walks back to go to talk to her parents, just like biting it a little bit.
Yeah, it is a mesquite flavored, very juicy, cooked to perfection. Some of the best caribou you've ever had. And you walk into the room. You set the fork down on the little counter, and you pull up the chair or stand or whatever you want to do. And the little scryer mirror, everything is normal sized as we once referenced, and the little scryer mirror is there. And do you want to do anything before you activate it? You know, like say a prayer, beg Celestian to make this be a normal conversation.
Oh, I know it's not going to be a normal conversation. I do just kind of sit and like compose myself and just like brace myself for whatever is about to confront me. Hey. And she'll like do or sign the glyph or whatever and just go in.
And that's where we're gonna go to break.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Cool. We'll be back.
Signing off. As the screen boots up, Canari, you see a very haggard-looking version of your mom. Hair all over the place. Her shirt has a few bits of it sticking out in places that shouldn't. It's a little wrinkled, and she has very tired-looking eyes. And she just smiles as she sees you, and she says, "My perfect little Canari." Hi.
Mom?
Hello.
Are you okay? Why you? What? Are you?
Sorry, your father is not here. He's very busy. But we have really good news.
Okay.
Well, your time in the dungeon sphere and your dedication to Celestian has caused an influx of people coming to the temple to seek our services and to find the light through Celestian, passage through life. But that means that I am understaffed.
Right.
And your father's really busy too, trying to keep everything together.
What's Dad doing? Is he okay?
Yes. He's a very organized person, so he's just making sure to take all the names down and making sure to get a system going that works to accommodate. We haven't been sleeping much.
Okay, but you can't take care of anybody else unless you're taking care of you, right?
Yeah, I know. All of these recent converts are our priority. Celestian will help us through it. But we definitely need some more help. The Shenandria, we did appoint her as a bishop. Yeah, Shenandria has been doing really good at her position, but she's still new to it. So it is a lot, Canari. I wish you were here, but I know that you can't be.
I mean, it would be nice if I could be in two places at once, but...
Yeah. But our vacation was wonderful. It was very wonderful. It did end abruptly. Apparently, the sponsors of the vacation got into some legal trouble, and they had to bring us back a little early, but that's fine.
When did it end?
Well, I mean, according to your time frame, maybe a little after the Battle City, the whole Battle Royale. I really haven't had much time with my writings.
Well, have you thought about, the recent converts? Maybe a couple of them show some promise. Maybe you could just get them inducted. Not fast track them, but some of the other people that have been around.
Hold a competition to let the cream rise to the top and then give them duties. That's a wonderful idea. You've inspired me. This whole dungeon sphere thing is, maybe it's in practice in a much more contained and non-lethal setting could actually work.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if holding a competition to prove who's the most devout is necessarily what we want to do. But
right. You're right. Mm-hmm. Oh, how did the curse? You had a curse that you were asking about and breaking it.
I think it's broken. it seemed to a soul was able to be put into one of the shards that we had. I mean, there's a weird curse going on in the Ironbeard clan, along with something else. It had to do with some like an oinoloth or something. It was a weird.
It means a lot. It means a lot that it would.
No, I couldn't have done it without your without your stuff, but look, I'll try and get through this as fast as I can. I would really love to be home.
Well, it is what it is, and I mean, you had to eventually go out into the world at some point. The temple wasn't your... It was a shelter, but it also were walls that, I mean, once you venture out, you come back in, if you want to, with a renewed sense of who you are and purpose and all of that stuff, and she falls asleep.
Hi, Mom. Love you.
And then there's a door that opens in the side, and it's like, honey. Oh, you're sleeping. Oh, Canari.
Can you just bring me into the room?
He grabs the Scryer Vision mirror and he puts it way too close to his face, and it's just like you see up his nose.
Oh God, Dad, you haven't been trimming.
I don't have time to trim.
Well,
he takes you into the study and sets you on his desk, and he sits down in his little cushioned chair.
What do you mean you don't have? I mean, Mom said you were busy, but how busy? You don't even have a moment just to like get up in there, or what?
It might have just escaped my mind with everything else going on. I'm creating new systems. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And he seems less haggard than your mother, but you do see like a little like new wrinkles and some new gray hair and signs of perpetuated stress. It's fine. It's fine. You know, mother might. He pours himself some rum, and he's. You know, your mother is just frazzled. That's a good way to put it. Frazzled.
Okay, that's... Well, okay. Well, at least the two of you are busy making sure that the church is running fine. Is there anything you need?
Yes.
Okay.
Speak to your liaison, Quentin.
Sure.
And tell him to have House Saronia donate to the temple.
Okay.
So that we can build another wing to accommodate all the new converts. I already have the schematics. He pulls out some blueprints and like spreads them out and like puts the mirror over them so you can see it. And there's like an entire new wing ready and a bunch of his own like notes and scrawlings and some stains and is that blood? Might be blood.
That's definitely blood. I could. I mean, I'll try. It seems a little. I mean, I know they're the sponsor for our team, but that seems a little. I'll see what I can do.
If you cannot.
No, I'll try.
All right. It's just with all of these new converts, there's a lot of people in need. And we need a new wing to not just accommodate for space, but there's people who need housing. There's people who need food. There's a lot of things that we can offer, and this has been quite the influx from your exposure in mass media, entertainment media, and such.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's part of the reason I came.
Mm-hmm.
Just wish I could be there with you to help. Unrelated. Have you ever heard of? Did we already talk about? There's some reading that Vrexil and I were getting into, and there's a name that popped up that I didn't recognize, but it was like Sul Katesh.
Oh, Sul Katesh! He takes another long sip of his
We
rum.
might have already talked about her, but I don't remember.
I don't think so. Maybe. No, anyway.
Yeah.
Sul Katesh, the keeper of secrets. A master manipulator. Once bound in the dreaming dark long ago, convinced many of the dark Quori to serve under her. Also known as the Lady of the Silver Flame, because it was the Silver Flame that bound her. But legends have faded in history. Her whereabouts obscured by time. But an ancient enemy of our people. Over 10 million years old.
Oh shit. Okay, that's. The Silver Flame. Were they just? Was that like a one person, or was it a collective, or?
It was several celestial creatures who sacrificed their essence to provide these bindings. And there once was a Church of the Silver Flame. It's disbanded quite some time, and actually Celestian has adopted many of their followers. And so has Grimshishka, the Church of Grimshishka, but they're in some deep trouble with the Magisterium, so many of them have gone in hiding. It's actually quite cathartic to hear.
Yeah, I'm concerned that they were the ones who paid for your and Mom's vacation.
Oh. Well, it was generous.
Yeah. It could have been for a deeper purpose.
Might have. Or it might have just been to mess with your head.
Well, they're not really an issue right now, so. Okay, well, just take care of yourself. Make sure Mom gets at least 6 hours of sleep. I know she doesn't. She's lucky if she gets 2 when she gets like this. It's just...
Don't worry. I slipped something in her tea. Don't worry, it's harmless. It was necessary, though.
Oh, we should...
She works herself ragged.
Yeah, but... We'll talk about it when I'm home.
Yeah, there's gonna be some changes when you get home.
How do you mean?
She didn't tell you, did she?
No.
Well, Canari, you are going to be an older sister. Your dad still got it.
Their words cannot express the conflicting emotions that I feel in this moment.
So please make it home.
Okay, very happy, excited to be an older sister. Oh God, okay, I'm gonna go drink now. Love you, that was not a mental, okay,
Wait, before you go.
Okay, what?
be careful of the Rakshasa who serve Sul Kutesh. If you encounter one, they might be under her command. If she is involved and part of this whole thing. And Rakshasa are immune to low-level magic. Something to be very wary of. However, if you stay on the path of the Celestial Walker under Celestian's guidance, I believe that anything can happen for you.
It's very sweet and ominous. Okay. Yeah, no pressure. Okay. Well, love you, Dad.
Love you too, sweetie.
Okay. Well, tell Mom I say congratulations. I'm excited to meet whoever. Sorry, I'm just used to being in. This is gonna take. Okay, I'll ask Braenna how she deals with siblings.
Yes, and don't worry, the thing that I slipped into her tea is harmless to infants and fetuses and stuff.
I didn't even. Oh God. Okay, we really need to. Okay, I'm gonna go drink myself under a table now. Good night.
Good luck. Goodbye.
I
Talk
sign
soon. You walk out and Moxie is like
Just
into the
eating.
caribou, just like still, yeah.
Hey, what's up? How'd it go?
I'm gonna be a big sister. Yeah,
That's cool.
it was a normal conversation, and then that
I mean, that
happened.
seems pretty on par for your conversations with your parents,
No, but
honestly.
it was.
Look, when
it
we
was
get out of
no-
here, we need to talk. We'll just go. You don't need to live with them anymore.
I know I don't need to, but they're trying to expand the temple, and they're horribly
Yeah,
understaffed.
you can go to work and go home. Especially if they're going to be doing that. Ugh.
I think something about them going on a honeymoon, and then like I'm pretty sure the Church of Grimshishka like sponsored it. So to think that they like.
Do you think they're trying to make another like me? Secretively?
And then Vrexil walks in.
I mean, just all I'm saying is, as a worker replacement strategy, that's a really there are way better things they could be doing with their time than that.
Talking about the same thing we are? How did he know? I don't think you should call a sibling a worker replacement either. That doesn't. I don't think that's what it is.
I think this is just a.
Umbran, are you gonna be talking to the
That
Lord?
makes more sense.
I have to go buy seeds, and then I gotta go see Braenna.
Okay. But yeah, Vrexil, I know Vrexil wanted to talk to his parents too.
Mhm.
So Vrexil will be walking in soon. But
Want
in the
some
meantime-
meat?
oh yeah, Vrexil, do you want some?
What is that?
Caribou. It's delicious.
It is very good. Canari will just like hold a hand up for a few more of whatever Moxie's drinking, just for the table,
Oh no.
and she gets 2 for herself.
One in each hand.
And Umbran, you walk over to Nebazara's mundane menagerie. And inside, you see I'm gonna find somebody so that you can be like, oh, okay, that's what he looks like.
And the menagerie is the general store, not the stables, right?
Correct.
Okay, make sure.
Yeah, because that's where you're gonna find some seed. I should have probably like had some art right or something. I could have just described him. Art is sometimes nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna describe him because I can't really find what I want from a cursory. You walk in and you see the most boring human you have ever seen.
They're all like that.
He is a middle-aged man, balding hair. Every feature of him is just like average, and he's of average height at like 5'9", and he's just sitting in a wooden chair. And this entire establishment is probably the most boring, unadorned place that you have ever seen.
Shout out to our own boring human in my Wild by the Witchlight campaign. This one's for you, Norm Simple. I tried to make him have fun, and he said, no, thank you. I would like to use my lucky to reroll having fun.
Salutations. Welcome.
Greetings. Well, I'm sure you have an interesting and quirky personality. You all seem to do. I'm in a bit of a rush. I'm looking for seeds, particularly barley or wheat or another vegetation used to make alcohol.
I do have those. Look, over in the aisle, there are baskets with plenty of seeds, and you can scoop and put them in burlap sacks that are available to you at the end of each aisle.
Could I make a quick insight check why this man sounds so robotic?
Yeah.
More robotic than the robot? Woo. The 16 on the dice plus, I think just two. 18. Why is this man so robotic?
When you look at him, it feels more like the uncanny valley type of feeling.
Yeah, that's them bad robots.
And I need you to make an investigation check.
I do. I get really close to him. Like
He's just smiling.
Well, it's a good thing I'm good in investigation. 15.
You
put my hands on his counter and I get right up in his face.
You see a little wavering of the form in front of you, and you're realizing that this is an illusion.
Is he 3 kobolds in a trench coat?
No. It seems as though there's a physical presence there, but there's an illusion over.
You're not very good at magic. Would you like to explain? Just real quick, I am in a hurry, but I am intrigued.
I felt as though this might be much more comfortable appearance for you.
Take out your eye.
Oh, should I hold up
Would
my
you
joints
rather-
for him?
I will show you my true appearance now. And then he wiggles his fingers down his face, and he goes from this boring human to a blue-skinned Vidalcan.
Aw,
Short
well, you
and
don't have
bald.
to hide.
I was afraid. There are none others like me on your team.
Well, not on our team, but I'm sure there are some out in the Magisterium.
There is. One died and was resurrected.
Yeah, see, representation is good for your people. You should be proud to be here on the Dungeon Sphere. It'll make other Vidalcans feel good.
Thank you for these kind words. You may proceed to buy seeds.
I would love to. Show me your seeds.
Show me the seeds. I pointed to the aisle, but I can't take you there myself.
I mean, if you're going to sell me on seeds.
I assume that if you need seeds, you will purchase seeds, and if you do not, you will not.
What kind of seeds do you have? Okay. I was going to banter and we would bicker, but I am in a hurry, so I'll just take whatever you got.
Bantering and bickering is fun.
Isn't it? I have a good time with it.
I am glad that you have
Cool.
a good time.
Purchase all the varieties you have.
There are several varieties. Sunflower,
Seeds.
watermelon,
Mhm.
peanuts, other legumes.
Do you imbibe perchance?
Do I what?
Imbibe? Do you drink alcohol?
I do, but I prefer beer.
That's made by wheat, isn't it? You know,
Yes.
I'll take, one bag of every seed you got. My friend is a little more proficient in
All right.
alcohol.
I will help you purchase or find the alcohol making items. Barley, hops, wheat, and others. And then he starts like going and scooping and bagging them up, and you'll get basically enough to make, if you want to make a 2-liter container of alcohol, it will take merely 2 silver pieces worth of seeds.
If I were to buy, I'll slap 5 gold down on the counter. I'll get bags of seeds, whatever he's got. Because
Alright.
we've got a hole with a ram in it. We can shove all those in.
This is acceptable payment.
I hope it's more than acceptable.
That would be ostentatious.
Oh, now you're getting it, yeah. I'll nudge him with my elbow and I'll pick up all my seeds. I'm like, it was lovely chatting with you. Goodbye.
I had a pleasurable experience.
I take all my seeds and I head to Braenna's dad's shop.
As you approach, you hear like a chanting and screaming and hollering and I am big, and there's actually like glowing coming from the windows, and
I feel like there's a couple of ancestors just like poking out of the windows, just like. Whoa.
yeah, and they all seem like they're drunk somehow.
Clearly.
Meanwhile, Vrexil, you may proceed to Squirmies.
Yeah, Vrexil is gonna call home.
Vrexil, call home.
Oh. And Vrexil is kind of like turning the ring over in his hands that Umbran gave him. So, when was the last time I even talked with him? Beep, 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 boop.
And you see a laboratory with beakers and different notes and stuff scattered. There does seem to be some sort of organization to it, but to just like the average intellect that would walk in would have no idea how to comprehend it. And you see your mother, tiny as she may be, taking a beaker and pouring something into it, swirling it around. She has protective gear, and she looks over and glances at the scryer mirror, and then glances away and continues her business.
Oh, God. Vrexil will just kind of like wait for the delicate moment of, mixing and measuring to be done. Just be like, hey, Mom, I have a question.
As she's finishing up that little portion of her experiments and testing, she sets it all down and she says, Mom, I'm sorry, I don't have a son. Because if I were to have a son, he would be much smarter.
Sorry, my son exploded.
Then he would make good decisions, ones that don't result in him exploding and potentially losing more than just an arm. Like, if I had a son, he would be much smarter than that.
I would like to think that you have a son that's really good at math and knows that, when you're in a situation where it's, a greater than one number of people dying versus the one number, that, greater than one is greater than one. And,
If you wanted to talk simple math, you would speak to your father.
All I'm saying is it seems like we need a refresher course right now.
I think Vrexil's got a little sassier.
Well, if I did have a son, I would be worried if he exploded. No matter what the math was. Especially since he didn't call me after. And
I didn't have a chance to. He says, blatantly lying.
She pulls out this little creature that you recognize as a chicken from the abyss, or like the hells or whatever. One of those like hell chickens.
You know those.
Yes, the hell chickens.
Yeah.
We're all familiar.
Yeah. She uses these often.
Is it an abyssal chicken or a hell chicken? This is an important distinction.
What is it called? Yeah, abyssal chicken.
Oh no.
It doesn't look like a chicken. It looks nothing like a chicken.
Not the abyssal chicken.
Like how mountain chickens are actually frogs, you know.
No, it looks like this. Here you go.
Couldn't find a normal man, but we do have an abyssal chicken just hanging out. Oh, that's terrible. That's not a chicken.
Yeah, it has chicken-like feet. Look at it.
That's not a chicken.
Oh my god.
She takes that beaker that she was just working on, and she opens like the top of this little cage. It's like a glass box that it can't even like get its tongue through or anything. And she takes the little beaker and drops a few drops through the top, and it hits this creature, and it's going. But then it starts coughing, and then boils start appearing all over its body. And then a few seconds later, it explodes, and the entire box is just coated in gore and blood. And she just...
Was that a success or a failure?
And it was a success.
Oh, we need to talk.
Oh, don't worry. She swirls it around. Let's just call this Mother's Revenge.
I was really hoping it was going to turn into a normal chicken.
Oh.
Let's just call this Mother's Revenge for the demon. Or was it a demon? What's in Oinaloth again?
A fiend.
Demon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a fiend. Oh, it's one of the Yugolots. Let's just say that this is a successful experiment towards a disease that will affect fiends. She has like a little bit of craze in her eyes.
Listen, time out, pause, pause. This woman making bioweapons after a bioweapon knocked out her entire race, and she's like, you know what we haven't learned? Bioweapons? That one great for the goblins. Let's do it ourselves.
If it's a bioweapon that only affects fiends, then what's the problem?
Oh god.
Bam!
I have so many.
She's gonna become the big bad next season.
No kidding. Oh my god. Conversation 1, I get dragon pox. Conversation 2, I get like white phosphorus, whatever this is.
I'm beginning to think maybe your mom isn't as old as we thought she was.
Oh boy.
She just starts crying.
Oh god.
And she sits back down into a chair and puts her face in her hands and...
So, I know this isn't a particularly good time. I recently came across some information that is troubling. It was implied to me that the giving of a ring sometimes has, secondary meanings beyond the item that was gifted.
I suppose your father did propose to me with a ring.
Oh no. So you can confirm my other sources.
Well, I suppose I told him to send it back, and it's just like, where's the practicality in it?
Well, I might have only been highly practical. I don't
Exactly. If he got me a ring that was practical, then she's like wiping away tears as she's distracted momentarily. Then I would have definitely kept it, but it was just a carbon-based stone on top of a circular ring of what? Gold? It's just, what am I supposed to do with that?
It's not like it can, regrow your arm or anything. I mean...
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of which... And Vrexil has reattached the arm. It's just sort of like... This
You
is...
feel like a little... Oh, wait, I don't know if you've attuned to the Ring of Regeneration yet, so never mind.
I
I'm not gonna say
have
anything.
not.
Yep, never mind.
Um...
Before you begin, the books you sent,
Oh, yeah. Vrexil's distracted.
how did you get those? I might have seen bits and pieces, but those are from thousands of years ago.
It's genuinely troubling to me, the implications that the places that we're experiencing here were once real. How did they get here? What are the consequences of them being here and not elsewhere? They were from a kingdom. It was like a game in this place.
From what I've seen, it appears as though the dungeon sphere warps time and space in such a way that it constructs a new reality within its confines. And each level takes you to maybe a different point in time, a different place in space. And I don't know if it's a recreation or something you're actually experiencing, but it has been fascinating. And there's been a lot of real world implications that have gone into it. So definitely something where it is connecting you to places that were once real, but somehow, for example, in certain levels, it appears as though when one team completes a task, it resets, almost as if it has rewinded time.
We've experienced that.
Yeah, it's very fascinating, but that doesn't matter because these books indicate that where you were, where gnomes were living, is a real place. And if she actually pulls a chalkboard that has a bunch of math on it,
Oh no.
and you recognize that she's basically calculated the exponential growth of mountain gnomes in a finite island area, and she says there could be an entire population of gnomes in these seas that has been lost to time that we could use or reach out to or something and
Better.
help them or have them help us rebuild. And I don't know, maybe the gnomes will rise again one day.
If that isn't a sign, I don't know what is.
It's the gnomes. They rise again.
And maybe the gnomes will rise again. As a power,
What did you say?
Maybe the gnomes will rise again
Oh.
as a powerful people.
Oh, the paper you go.
But
Or at least that's my theory. And then you hear a voice in your head. If my people are out there, I need you to bring them to me. Or bring me to them.
they are out there. We have to find them.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But
I'm sorry that the queen's voice and your mom's voice might sound similar.
that's right. And if this hypothesis is true, and the dungeon sphere recreates moments in time,
Or links you to those moments in time.
right? There's a chance that we could encounter the gnome of age here, and that we could reverse engineer cure. If we could get access to the original research, we could solve it for good.
Well, sounds like that you will need to remain vigilant.
But
if we do find these mountain gnomes, we will need to cure it, because we will not be able to introduce it to that population.
Right. And
Even those of us who have built up resistance or immunities still have been exposed and still have it in our system. And it could spread. And this is definitely not a analogy for COVID. This is something entirely out of my ass.
But if the people who run this place have that kind of access and they've just let it be, and they've just had that kind of power and never acted on it,
Well, that's capitalism for you.
that's unforgivable.
Also capitalism for you. Listen, those in control in the Magisterium and other powerful nations across the world seek to retain power and maintain power. Us gnomes, we are a collective people. We don't create hierarchies. We create a horizontal community. And maybe if we were to rebuild the gnome nation.
Autonomous collective.
She holds up the bioweapon. Swirls it around.
What are we doing tonight, Mom? Same thing we do every night, son. Try and take over the world. Vrexil and his mom.
Also, you, your father and I are getting a divorce.
Well, there's been a lot of like, oh, by the way, this life-changing thing is happening. Bye.
He says, I'm too consumed by my work. But there's nothing more important than saving our people. It's saving
Mom, that's
saving more children from pain.
That's what I'm here for. You're supposed to be done. We talked about this. You're supposed to be there with Dad, and I'm supposed to be the one out here doing this.
You can't even beat that goblin in this race.
So
how can I rely on you?
Oh my god!
Excuse you.
Damn.
Mom's a little sassy too.
She might have something might be off.
By the sample
people
size
obsessions
we've accrued
and
so far, I have beaten that goblin. Thank you very much.
oh sure.
Technically. Got you there, Ma.
Well, maybe prove to me that you will be successful in this venture, and then I won't have to do this.
I came here to ask you.
I'm glad mine are dead.
This is every conversation you ever have with your parents ever. You're like, Mom, I've got something really important to tell you. And she's like, let me tell you some things of how you've disappointed me. And you're like, I really needed you right now. Was now the time for this?
Right.
Mom?
The one known as Egg didn't have to blow himself up to get through something.
No,
He's
but he's
probably
gonna get
blowing
blown up. It's
himself.
fine. It's gonna be fine.
I gave the option to blow up Egg. Everyone says, let's not mess with it.
Look, I have a plan for Egg. It's gonna be fine.
What did you call me for?
I was given the second greatest gift I've ever received. He holds up the ring. Making this arm has been, I'm just gonna takes it off. It's pushed me in ways that I didn't think I could be pushed, and it's even given me some new abilities, but I always told myself that I was okay with my legs and how they were, and that I wouldn't. Why would I want working legs again? I can do this, and I had come to peace with that. And then the arm, why is that different? And I don't know why it's different, and I wanted to call my mom to talk about, why I'm struggling to make this decision about using this thing to get back this part of my body that I lost and that I thought I was going to be okay without. But no, mom and dad are getting divorced. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, this is the side of you that you got from your father. So emotional.
He's
Listen.
so focused on saving gnomes.
You
But
gain.
she's not even focused on saving the most important gnome to her.
I want to punch her in the face for Vrexil.
You acquire new facts, and then you adapt. The new fact is, you have this ring that can regrow your arm. You adapt to that fact. And figure out what are the pros and cons.
The pros and cons are dictated by unstable variables. Yeah, my dad's side of me. I don't know how I feel about it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That it changes from moment to moment. It's not something that can just be measured. It's something that I have to figure out. And I honestly was maybe hoping that Dad would be here so that I could talk to him about it, because, it'd be more useful than this. Sometimes it's about more than just what you can measure. Sometimes, I don't know. It's fine. Just don't worry about it.
Fine. All I'm gonna say is that your legs, your arm, whatever, none of it makes you lesser. It just makes you you. And if you want to talk to your father so bad, then, I don't know, ask your whatever liaison or whatever his name is, Quinn Jules Bag or whatever.
That's his name, yeah. Got it, everyone.
That's a good one.
Tell him to secure your father a Squire Mir, and then you will never have to talk to me again.
Wait. Did you kick Dad out?
No. Your father left. I might have converted most of the house into a larger laboratory.
Based on what I know of my parents' relationship, is that he chose to leave, or is that
Like, he had no other choice.
okay?
You hear some squawking and screaming and stuff that are very familiar, very similar to that abyssal chicken that you just saw.
Oh God.
And you're like, oh, there's probably quite a few of those in the house at the moment.
Looks like you have some test subjects that need attending to. Might as well, give them.
I do. I need to make sure that this is powerful enough to take down a fiend of disease.
All right. And as she turns to go, Vrexil just hangs up.
I'm so sorry.
Just kind of holds the ring in his hands.
Braenna,
Yes.
you hear a knock at the front door.
Braenna does not hear a knock at the front door. She is being too loud.
Your dad does hear it, and he walks to the front, and he opens it, and he says, Umbran, hello.
Salutations.
Do you want to chant with us?
No. Thank you for the offer, though. I wanted to give Braenna a gift. Do you think she'd have a moment to spare?
Currently, no.
Will she have a moment to spare?
Maybe in an hour. He's soaked in sweat, and he smells terrible.
I have no olfactory sensors. I do not
Oh, yeah.
know what you smell like, sir. You look very wet, though. I'll be back in an hour. And
All right.
me with my armful of seeds will turn and go to call my lord and master.
Braenna,
Mhm.
you start to hear a little whisper mind.
Hello, who's there?
I don't know.
Do you have a name?
No.
Are you my weapon?
What's a weapon?
Do you like to hit things?
Yes.
I bet you're my weapon.
What is my name?
What is your name?
And I'll let you think on it.
Yeah.
As Umbran walks in and sees Moxie eating caribou, Canari drinking her feelings away, Vrexil stumbling out of the rooms, like eyes glazed over or something, dissociating. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you walk into the tavern and you hear Gordy say, "Oh, hello. My name is Gordy.
Oh, jeez.
It is nice to meet you, little man."
Same. Okay, I'm just gonna go hang out with my friends.
You want some meat?
No, Moxie.
Well, I just figured I'd offer to be nice.
I dropped my 24 bags of seeds on the table. I'm like, don't eat these. They're a gift.
Okay.
I think people eat seeds. Yes, some.
You
I-
can.
I guess. I'm pretty satisfied though with the meat and the mead.
Yes, seems to be quite a process you're working on.
Well, I'll save some for Braenna, but it's pretty good.
I figure Braenna's very busy. When she gets back, I think she'll need one of her own.
I'm guessing that Vrexil's kind of just stumbling up towards the table or
Yeah,
something.
Vrexil's not quite there yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna let them finish.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you finish. Yeah, I've got to go make a call home.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll watch your seeds.
Thank you.
Look.
Are you all right? Your eyebrows seem upset.
Just the eyebrows.
Just the eyebrows. You're doing a great job controlling the rest of your face, but the eyebrows really give you
Yeah,
away.
they just have a mind of their own. Which is
Gordy
funny because
walks up and delivers to each of you a 3-headed lager. It
wow.
is a lager with 3 heads of ice cream in it, but it's
Oh.
large. And he just sets it on the table and he says, "Yeah, these are on the house.
Oh,
That's so nice.
thanks.
Thank you, Gordy.
I like the
Just
company."
grabs one and just starts
Honestly, this is the best place. I've ever
Umbran's
been
holding
in the
his, trying to
dungeon
decide if
here.
he should give it to Canari or Vrexil. Seeing this is like,
Which
whoever
one needs?
wants it.
We'll split it. It's fine. No, my
All right, sorry for the interruption.
Too strong.
Okay.
Sorry
You're
to
too
interrupt.
I guess my parents are having another child.
Well, that's good, yes?
Yeah, it's good. It just the way they told me was really weird. Because we were having a normal conversation and then it went weird.
What's that like?
Okay, well, we need to unpack that emotion.
Vrexil, your whole face seems sad.
Vrexil has finished a tankard that is the size of his torso.
Oh
Oh
no.
boy,
Hiccup.
okay, I thought I had stuff going. Okay, we're gonna talk about these feelings.
Meat and bread, I'm sure that'll help fix.
Yeah, go enjoy your talk with your dad.
Hey, can you ask him to get the media off of my friend Hawking's back? Because they keep attacking him or something. I don't know.
Oh, I was the person you were gonna
You were Quinn. Who knows? I don't think he's gonna remember long enough.
So there was one thing, Umbran. Could you talk to Lord Silronia? Apparently, my parents are requesting some funds for the Church of Celestian. I don't know if there's something. I promised I'd ask, but there's no. I don't. Just mention it to him, and maybe they can talk it out.
That is something I would bring up with Quentin, though. Finances through the House of Silronia, don't tend to run through Lord Silronia himself.
Sure.
He's
Okay.
more of an eccentric inventor.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Then I can also ask Quint too. I don't
Yeah,
want to
Quentin
disturb.
would be someone who would deal with more mundane things.
Yeah,
Like
you're
bioweapons?
right.
Huh?
Again, we need
What?
to unpack. We'll
Don't
catch up
make
with you
any
later
more
on, Bren.
weapons.
Okay.
Actually, I think Lord Saronia's sister would probably wouldn't be too involved, but she would probably be the one that has to sign the final document.
Yeah, Lady Argent definitely takes care of the day-to-day workings.
Yeah.
While her brother is technically older and is the heir to the Silronia estate, he cares not for anything other than being rich and hot and doing magic cocaine and making robots.
I mean, honestly though, if I was that rich and hot, I would totally do that. So I
Yeah,
understand.
that's
Cocaine
what
and
his
robots.
whole deal is. Yeah, magic cocaine and robots.
Let's go do this.
My
That's
cocaine.
how I feel about this.
You
I
head
don't think this
into-
one's gonna go better.
You head into the room, and you go and you press the screen, thinking Lord Saronia, and it boots up, and it's not his usual little what does he normally in? I don't know, study, laboratory, or a workshop or something. He is actually in the kitchen at the moment, and he's in the middle of eating while having a book on his side and then a notebook, and he's using magic, or not magic, but one of his little inventions that is writing stuff for him as he's talking, and he's kind of just spooning some sort of oatmeal into his mouth, and he's like, and make sure to write down that the flux capacitor, blah blah blah, nerd speak. And then he looks up and he notices, oh, Umbran. Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings. This is. He grabs the mirror and he says, "I'm gonna go to a much more formal location."
I've never seen you eat food before.
Well, a part of me thought that it might have been rude to do it in front of you, but I mean, I am flesh.
I did not know how you sustained yourself.
Usually, I just use these little beads, and that's good. But today, I decided to treat myself with a little bit of sprinkle of cinnamon on the oatmeal.
Delightful.
Yeah. And then he opens the door, and he shuts it. And it's his little study room, but that's half study, half workshop, and something's on fire in the corner. And he's like, "No, don't worry about that." What
I'd
can I
be
do
more
for you?
concerned if it wasn't on fire.
Thank you. What can I do for you?
I don't mean to question, but I do want to know if it is not my place to question your decisions and the things you have told me. Everything I know for a reason, I'm sure. But I want to know why you lied to me.
Lied about what?
And I'll reach into my bag and I'll grab your prime directive has always been the gate. That wasn't what you had told me. I thought I was made to prove your mother wrong. She said you would never make anything real. That the Lady Argent would always hold more favor in her eyes, where she could make true life. And you never would. You had told me that was why I was here. Yes, I could accomplish tasks as well. The assassination was simply a byproduct to make the world understand. But you you told me I was real. For that reason. But now
He falls back into a seat as you're speaking.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Well, I didn't write the note. I don't know who did, but it was probably my sister. But
Oh,
it is not wrong. When I first was making you, when I was first putting you together, it was with the desire to prove my mother wrong. That was accurate. But then my sister, she came in and said that it was a waste of time. That making something simply for the pursuit of making it was, how did she phrase it? Delusional at best. And so she got her nose into it. I'm sorry you had to find out like this, but she decided that if I were to make you, you would need to have a purpose. And he just is wiping his face, and he's like taking some time. He's choosing his words carefully. Here's what you need to know. You were created for this purpose, as in essence, a weapon to be used against the church, because they needed to be stopped. And they have been. But it appears that more is going on. And my sister believed that you should serve a purpose beyond just merely existing. And at first I went with it, because part of me just at first saw you as another creation. Just another thing. Another one of my brilliant innovations. But then, as I was teaching you, as I was training you and raising you up, as you looked at me like a father, Umbran, I fell in love with you as if you were my child. And it's one of those things where it was illogical and it didn't make any sense, and I tried to shove it down, but ever since, I've always felt as though you were more than just an assassin or a weapon. But once my sister has decided something, no one can stop her, not even I. And I didn't even want to send you in here, but I had no other choice, because what is happening in the dungeon sphere threatens the world. So it was choosing between sending
the one I considered my son into danger. And to lose what I would call humanity with this task. Or keeping you to myself and letting the world burn. I don't quite know what's happening with the dungeon sphere, what the plans are. To be frank, I don't want to know. The gravity of the situation, and it makes me anxious. And so, yes, I did lie. But only because I couldn't bear the truth.
You have to know this, and this opens up so many more questions.
I know.
How did Lady Argent know about everything that was going on? How Silveronia has some huge connection to the dungeon sphere and the Church of Grimshishka and Sulkatash. No one seems to know or realize, but all of this is tied through you, through your house.
Mm-hmm.
Why and how? I don't need to know, but my friends deserve to know. They're real people. They have real feelings. This impacts their real lives and their real families.
Have you ever heard of the Silver Flame?
Through psychic whispers, I suppose.
Alcironia are the bearers of the Silver Flame. It is the secret of the house that it has been built upon, remnants of an ancient religion. And House Aronia has put the Silver Flame inside you.
Use you? What does that mean?
Inside your core is not just your consciousness, but the Silver Flame that will bind Sulkatesh, but also destroy you. Unless you kill Canari before it all happens, of course.
Wait. How many people? It's the spirit of the Silver Flame. It's not like an actual silver flame that's inside of me, is it?
It is the Silver Flame.
Where is it? Yo, I've been all up in that chest cavity.
Deep within, the Shadowfell shard is not just a shard, but within each shard is a fragment of each plane. And in essence, its own pocket dimension.
I unbutton my shirt and I hit my the compartment. It kind of like slides out of the way, and I reach into my chest and I grab the Shadowfell shard and I look inside of it.
It's just shadows and such inside. But do you want to roll me a perception check?
Oh my god, no, I don't want to. I want you to tell me. Be good. I don't have perception. Be good. Oh, 17. Plus
Barely noticeable. But now as you look deeper than you ever have before, now that you know that it's there, a glint of silver in its core.
Oh my god. I put it back inside. Oh my god.
It's okay if you
What
need
if
a moment.
Canari doesn't open the gate, though? What if it never comes to pass?
Then you'll survive. But if Sul Katesh is... So, Sul Katesh, to remain on this plane, will need to inhabit a body. If that happens, then you will need to do what you need to do. But Sul Katesh is a god. Cannot be killed by mortal hands. And so, if you do fight Sul Katesh, you will... If that comes to pass, or you need to stop her from inhabiting Canari's body, or all these different factors that might come to pass, because the Lady of Secrets, the Keeper of Secrets, has so many things that we don't even know. But
And the Keeper of Secrets is Sul Katesh, yes?
correct.
Okay. Because that's a new name we haven't heard before.
But if whatever she's planning, the only thing that can stop her and bind her once again in the dreaming dark is the silver flame. And to release it, the shard must be broken.
So, if Sul Katesh comes, I die either way.
He takes a deep breath and you just see like a little tear escape. I'm afraid so. But if you get the wish of the dungeon sphere before, maybe you can do something to save yourself. The only silver lining, the only piece of solace that I have had is that knowledge. And also, that little gnome on your team, he's a genius. His intelligence might even rival mine. He might even figure something out. But the soul that's within you is the soul of a child. Every time I attempted to bind a soul, it perished within minutes. And the reason is because there was no emotional anchor. I learned that after many failures. But binding the soul of a child into you allowed that soul to find an anchor, a connection, that look in your eyes when you looked at me as the father. That is the reason you were a success and also my greatest failure. But that is one failure that I will never regret.
I had more questions, but my mind has gone blank. Thank you
That's
for
fine.
your time, my lord.
You can always call
Alright.
me.
Stand up, and I bow, and I turn, and I leave.
Everyone gets a little bit of trauma today.
Oh no! Wait, take all these guns first. I open the
Oh
door
my
and I dump my rifles and my 2 pistols and my daggers in there.
Wait, I
Close the
have
door.
guns.
Yeah.
I got a new gun. I don't need the regular ones anymore.
That's a lot of guns.
It's 2 rifles, 2 pistols.
I had
And I-
somewhere where I wrote a much more concise description of all of this.
And my daggers.
I have no idea where it's at.
Okay, and then I slam the door and I turn with my flick of my cape and I leave.
All right, Braenna, have
Yeah.
you figured out a name?
Yes.
Okay, what's the name?
Fortuna, Ironbeard's favor.
Ooh, Fortuna.
Braenna had no trauma today. It's all good.
I
Yes.
believe. So are you spelling it for?
it's
tuna?
it's in chat.
Oh, okay.
I
Which
would
chat?
imagine it's spelled
Yeah,
like
Discord.
fortune,
I can't
but with an A.
I can't chat in,
Okay,
in
cool.
Zoom.
Yeah.
All right. Braenna,
Yes.
the chanting continues, but you feel as though it is a distant sound. As the container that was holding this hammer cracks on its own. And it splits open and it keeps crumbling until there is just a space for your hand to reach in to grab a handle.
Braenna reaches.
But as your hand begins reaching out, you see another hand
I'm gonna look over.
on the other side of yours, and you look over and it's Andrew's spirit, visible to you. And as both of you reach in and grab the handles together, he just looks into your eyes and he nods. And then you yank it out and it explodes. And your ancestors all disappear in a flash. And you are left with a Warhammer.
Yes.
It looks however you want it to look.
It is.
Big.
Yeah. Very big.
And the first words you hear in your voice, Andrew disappears, by the way, but the first word you hear in your voice are, "Oh man, that was a lot of work. I'm really tired."
That's
Ex-
from my.
Oh, wait, no.
or-
So, Fortuna,
Oh.
do you want this to be a feminine voice? Oh man, that was a lot of work. I'm so tired.
It was a lot. We should get some rest so we can hit some stuff tomorrow. What do you think?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be great.
You just hear a snoring in your mind.
Oh,
And
a weapon after my
da-da.
own heart. Oh my gosh. Damn, we did it! She's in my
and
head.
your dad just gives you 2 thumbs up. I knew you could. I knew you
She's sleeping in
could.
my head.
And you can now add Fortuna Ironbeard's favor to your inventory. And man, I'm really irritated that I couldn't find the notes that I had about the big Umbran reveal about the child and the whatever, but it was a child who died, and then I had to.
Damn,
Yeah.
guys, now I've been 2 kids on 2 different shows. I feel weird that I made Umbran so damn sexy.
Yeah, it's not.
He's not really a child though. It's
The soul is more like what powers you as opposed to who you are.
Yeah, but he's so sexy. Now he's underage.
Well, this has been a couple years ago, so.
This has been 2 whole years ago.
Anyway,
I'm
Umbran
2.
appears out of the Scryer Vision rooms in a flash, and then Braenna eventually will make her way into the
She comes in and she's got this giant hammer.
just like pepping your
and
step.
it's like,
Oh, and your javelin's done.
oh, and javelin too. And it's got just this very nicely wrapped handle, but the head is bigger than, like, it's wider than she's shoulders.
Oh, that is big.
Yeah, and it's got these intricate designs that are dwarven runes that are just fully, it's like ancestors all around in a spiral, similar to her tattoos on her head. And I'm debating, I think it is like titanium. So I don't think she'd have gold. Silver's kind of boring. So titanium it is.
Yeah. As a reminder, Umbran, by the way, when you saw visions in the labyrinth, you remember that Lord Soronia's beaming face was looking at you while you were training, and he cried a little bit, and he waved it off, and he's like, don't worry about these ears are here's a joy, blah, blah, blah. And then he gave you all the best tutors, the best martial artists to train you, let you help choose the team. And then I think you saw a portion of the vision where he closes the door, and then behind the door, his demeanor changes, and he shakes his head, and he says, you know exactly what. And as Lady Argent comes up and argues about wasting resources, he yells at her, you know exactly why I have to do this. The Church of the Shishka must be stopped. I've tried to do it through all legal channels, but they covered their asses every step of the way.
Yeah, I wanted to dive more in the connection with stuff, but then just Lord dumps, and I'm like, I had questions.
Yeah.
I was trying to be fair and impartial and robotic about them, but now I have feelings. Because I am a child. Now I am baby.
And then, so him and Lady Argent were arguing about it and how the litigation could take years, blah, blah, blah. And then he closes the door and he just whispers, I'm counting on you, Umbran, and he cries some more and blah, blah, blah. Anyway. And he takes a necklace out of his shirt. It's dark with a similar crystalline appearance as the Shadowfell shard with Umbran. He grips it tightly and leaves the seat. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyway. You are all in the tavern. 3 of you have a very heavy demeanor to you. Moxie, I don't know what Moxie's feeling at the moment. There's a few things that taking over the Order of Owls. Is that actually going to happen?
No, Moxie already is changing her wish.
That's in the notes.
Yeah, Moxie's got a new wish, and it's a new life for hockey.
And Braenna, as you walk in, you see the caribou, and you're like, that's not going to be enough for me. Second caribou.
We get a second caribou for the table, please.
I feel like we're gonna need a little more, please. Also, tons of more beer and stuff.
Okay, yeah. It seems as though you are having quite the day.
I've been having a great day. As she looks at the group and is everyone just like,
if you want, you could. I could give you the number for my sister Gordita. She is a licensed counselor. Talk about feelings, yeah?
Oh, we already got one of those.
This is my sister, Gordita Crunch.
Yes, I thought she was gonna offer us tacos.
Y'all are looking a little tepid here. What's up?
Umbran, composes himself and says, I know you got a rather wonderful thing today, but I too have a gift for you.
What?
I'm gonna walk over with all the seeds on the table.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna hide the seeds first. Seeds aren't the main part of the gift.
Okay.
Sachet in front of the seeds.
It reminds me of Christmas where my sister got the little pieces to a gift before open all those up before getting the actual gift. And she's like, well, this would be great if I had actual gift.
I sachet in front of the seeds. Don't look at the bag and say it. They're not real. And I'm going to pull out the implement of benevolence and hand it to you.
Umbran, thank you.
I know you said that you can't use magic in battle, so I got you something that is more of an outside of battle thing, or a desperate last attempt. It knows good berry, so you can make little +1 healing good berries.
Moxie, we could have a good berry eating contest. I bet it would only make our
Oh.
stomach hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
It knows plant growth, and I figured that since you got a brand new brewer's kit, you could use that to make your own supplies to brew with. I don't know anything about seeds or nature. I'm not familiar with it, so I just got you all the seeds they had for whatever alcohols they do make. And you are the only non-healer in the party, so if in combat everyone does go down, you now have mass cure wounds to bring everyone back up.
Ooh.
And that is my gift to you. I know they turn into weapons, but you don't need any more weapons. I would just keep it a fancy magic rod.
So now Vrexil's the only one that doesn't have a rod.
Did you not buy your implement, Vrexil? I'll go get it for you.
No.
Braenna goes and gives Umbran just like this biggest hug.
You don't require attunement, so.
They don't require attunement. They're just a free 3 spells.
No, yeah,
Okay.
they're just
Really
free
just
spells and
this-
weapons.
This day, guys, has been super great. I have a weapon that now talks in my head, and Umbran gave me this thing. This day has been great.
Vrexil, Canari, roll me Constitution saving throws.
Oh no.
I hope it's because we're drunk.
It is.
Does
Okay.
Moxie need? No, I have a 20.
Let's see. That.
Moxie's like,
22.
wow, I can drink so much.
Canari is just fine. Feeling a little buzzed, but in a good way. Like you're feeling pretty like smooth.
How is my con save so high? Total of 20.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not drunk yet either.
Vrexil will pull Umbran and Canari in and just be like, all right, we need to talk. I was alerted to the fact today that apparently rings mean something sometimes.
Yes, they
I'm
do
really-
sometimes.
I'm really sorry. I was just trying to make something that would help. You know, I really screwed some things up the other day, and so I got this, and he holds out the cloak.
Oh.
The cloak of salvation, is it called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Canari, I was gonna give it to you because I was mean to you, but then Umbran, you were nice to me. Hold the parchment shears. I don't know. Blech.
Oh no.
Okay, I'll here. Umbran, if you want to gladly take it. I can't attune to anything else anyway.
I will take off the ring of protection that we got from General Graves, because apparently I can't be betrothed to a Dilf anymore because I am baby. And I will take the cloak, which means Umbran now has 2 legendary items on it. And I will attune to the Cloak of Salvation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it could save your ass. You know what? We're gonna end it right there. Today's episode is done. We will be back next week.
Today's episode was brought to you by the letter F.
Yes.
For F in the chat.
Subscribe, follow, YouTube. All that fun stuff. Jinx, yo, me a pop. Reslaurie on Monday.
You don't drink pop.
I don't.
I owe you dice. I don't know.
Dice, many dice.
For some dumb reason in New England, we always say "I owe you a Coke," which is great branding on their part.
Yes, it is.
Um,
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye.
And,
This is fun.
Patsy maybe tomorrow. Anyways, bye.